Good morning. Good morning to everyone. We are the Trinidad and Tobago Scrap Iron Dealers Association. My name is Willetta Wilson, Secretary of TTCDA. Good morning to our President, Mr. Alan Ferguson, and to our Director, Ms. Verna Prudhomme. Good morning to the media and to all our listeners. We are live on I-95.5 FM, Power 102 FM Digital, and U95.7 FM Multicultural Radio and Multicultural Television. We are also live on TTCDA Facebook and YouTube pages. Before we get into the main issue of the morning, we would like to take a few minutes to discuss some important developments in our industry. Let me introduce our President, Mr. Alan Ferguson.
Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to listeners listening and 95.5 and Power 102 and all the television station, radio station. I want to thank everyone. This morning is an important morning. This morning for our industry is also a morning that I personally would never forget. Before I go anywhere and start to explain to Trinidad and Tobago concerning a matter before we go into our main matter, I just want to say, I believe there's a God. I believe that God sees everything and God knows everything. And sometimes God exposes people from doing wrong. I believe that. I also believe that nothing cannot happen without the power of God. I believe that. So I believe there's a God. And I believe that all the prophets, like Jesus, Moses, and all the rest of prophets, they came to give message. So I believe that. So before I go into my thing, I want everybody to know that I am a person who believes in God. This issue about theft is one of our main issues at the moment. It was in about 2011 that we had a symposium in reference to regularizing our industry, to make sure that our industry have the necessary tools that our industry could work and see what is our problem. We identify it. And we say one of the major problems is the people sometimes go around with the vans and steal people things. Sometimes these people who do the stealing is people who now coming into the business, or they just see they could come and go and steal something and bring it to our yards. Sometimes it all depends on our yards not to take things that look strange or no evidence as ownership or no proof is ownership. These are the problems that we get in. So we had a symposium with the Ministry of Trade, and the Ministry of Trade is our line ministry. I am told that the documents is in the Attorney General office to regularize our industry. And this is one of the things that cause most of the problems. Because if you have a van and you have to get a license, you won't be able to just come off the road just so and go and steal people items. So I'm asking the Attorney General, please, before I go into my major thing, Mr. Attorney General, please look at us and please get to Parliament and pass the law for our industry, that our industry could move on. I know that our industry is one of the industry that they just leave for last. But we're begging you, please, let's move a little forward and try to help us with our industry, please. Because a lot of claim is coming in concerning stealing. And we as an organization will never take part in that stealing that taking place. And I can tell you, Trinidad is lawless. No matter you try to tell all your members to stay away, it will have few that will want to take part in this evilness that called stealing. So I will make my announcement for my members, and I will make it for the public also too. The members of the association, all scrapyards, stay away from people who bring in stolen stuff to our yards. Keep away and call the police when these things happen, please. So I want to thank you, and I want to thank you for this part. And before I go into the real issue, I will go to the secretary for she to read the letter to start off. But before I say that, I will like the people who are listening, that I always say it, if you don't like the truth, you could do bound to listen, you do bound to view, because the truth always hurt. The truth always make people feel sad. Because if it's your friend or if it's your family, you think it wasn't supposed to be like that. But I want to say this is not about nobody personally this morning. We as an organization must expose the wrong. We have no problem with no one. We have absolutely no problem with no one. But we as an industry and an organization must speak the truth. So I will take you over to the secretary, and then I will come back to start the major matter where we come here to discuss. George.
This is a letter from Mr. Martin George and Company, attorneys at law, that was sent to Mr. Michael Kwamina, chairman of Heritage Petroleum Limited. It's dated the 9th of December, 2021. Dear Mr. Kwamina, reference, bid submitted by West Indian Salvage and Recycling Company Limited, Russ and Sons Recycling and Salvage Limited, and Magneridge Trading LDA, pursuant to invitation to bid issued on the 11th of September 2020. Reference is made to the matter caption whereby we are instructed and act on behalf of West Indian Salvage and Recycling Company Limited, hereinafter referred to as our client. We are instructed that our client, in response to an invitation to bid from Heritage Petroleum Company for the disposal of scrap iron, which was issued on the 11th of September 2020, submitted a bid on 9th October 2020 through its Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Alan Ferguson, on the joint behalf of itself and also on behalf of Russ and Sons Recycling and Salvage Limited and Magneridge Trading Limited. We are instructed that our client, along with these two said companies, submitted the said bid as a joint venture for the purpose of financing and executing the services of the removal of scrap iron and metal as per the ITB. We are informed that these three companies collectively possess considerable experience in the dealing and recycling of scrap iron, both nationally, regionally, and internationally. Our client has instructed that having submitted the said bid, several attempts were made to follow up on the outcome of same through our client's membership in and Mr. Ferguson's presidency of the Trinidad and Tobago Scrap Iron Dealers Association, which said entity is the body which represents the interests of all scrap iron dealers in Trinidad and Tobago. The president of said entity, Mr. Alan Ferguson, the CEO of West Indian Salvage and Recycling Company Limited, as aforementioned, and he has been very vocal in advocating the interests of the scrap iron dealers locally. We are further instructed that eventually a meeting was scheduled with Heritage Petroleum Limited on the 11th of November 2021 to address concerns raised by Mr. Alan Ferguson, and subsequently, letter dated the 18th of November was issued by your good self to Mr. Ferguson, which said letter appears to have sought to address the issues ventilated at the said meeting, and said letter highlighted that you had caused the review to be conducted into the bid process. According to your said correspondence, you indicated that the review revealed that no bid was received from an entity described as the Scrap Iron Dealers Association of Trinidad and Tobago, and what was received was a Google link submitted on behalf of one individual, Mr. Ferguson. By said correspondence, you further advised that pursuant to the heritage process, the bid documents will be submitted on the VTB on the heritage website in accordance with the instructions. You further indicated that the submission received from Mr. Ferguson could not be accessed for evaluation as the Google link attached had expired by the 15th October 2020, the day carded to open the bids. By said correspondence, you further advised that the submission by Google link did not follow the bid instructions of the ITB as set out by Section 4 of said ITB. The completed and signed bid forms, contractor HSC requirements checklist, and the bid declaration to be uploaded to the VTB as stated in clause 9.3. In the circumstances, we have opted to attach all the tender documents submitted for your attention, and we hereby require a definitive answer as to whether it is the position of Heritage Petroleum that these documents were never received or seen by Heritage Petroleum. In response to the contents of your correspondence, we state that it's agreed that no bid was submitted on behalf of the Scrap Iron Association. We further state the bid was submitted through Mr. Alan Ferguson's email on behalf of the aforesaid three companies. Having clarified this, we wish to have a clear and unequivocal statement from Heritage confirming that it did indeed receive all the documents as attached, being all the tender documents submitted by West Indian Salvage, Russ & Sons, and Magna Ridge Trading. This is extremely important and relevant as it relates to your stated position that the submission received from our client could not be accessed as the Google link had expired. Our client strongly contends this is not possible from technology and software IT standpoint, because the manner in which the link was created did not provide for its expiration. As such, the link could not have expired. We have advised our client to obtain a report from a specialist, an IT specialist, and same shall be submitted to you in due course. Furthermore, for completeness, and in the event that Heritage is taking a minor technicality to say that these individual documents were not uploaded to the VTB, we call upon you to provide us with full copies of the invitation to bid for the disposal of scrap iron, all instructions which were required to be followed, including Heritage standard instructions to proponents for selective tendering, as we give our client clarity as to the full extent of the technical requirements of this Section 4 and Clause 9. Furthermore, in relation to your said letter, there is obfuscation as to whether our client's bid fell within the 15 acceptable submissions received via the VTB, or whether it was among the 7 rejected bids, or whether our client's bid, through not being accessible via this alleged expired Google link, was not even counted amongst these 22 responses referred to in your said letter.
It's on?
Yeah. It's on.
Yeah. Justin? Trinidad and Tobago, people who is on wherever you are. It is take sometimes a little out of you when you want to start where the beginning of this whole thing with us and Heritage. Now, I will try to be brief before I could get in the major thing. But people who are listening first time you're hearing about this, I just need to go through a little brief with you. Now, when Petrotrin closed down, our organization used to purchase more than 75% of the material that we send out to Trinidad, or we get. is from what's here, Petrotrin. So when Petrotrin closed down, we as an organization was to put something in place for our organization to continue doing business. So we approached Heritage, which is called former Petrotrin, and we told them that we would like, as an organization, to purchase the material that they have as an organization. Because we had done already speak with our international partners. We would have done speak with all necessary companies overseas to purchase equipments, to able to work this material that Heritage have, that we could have able to bring money for our members and also Heritage. And I was not talking about Trinidad dollars. I understand that the country is in short of US dollars. So we had different conversation with one of the largest mills in the world to come to Trinidad to set up here, meaning that to take our material, and they agree. So we know that the material that we was going to organize and prepare and put it in a mill ready, we were able to get a better price for it. And we were done organize that. So when they see our plan, they open us, the chairman agree that they give us a letter to go to the Minister of Trade. So we were to do all these things. Everyone who will see our plan will agree that the country needed. Because two things important to this plan that we had with Heritage material, it would have bring in foreign exchange, and it would have bring 1,000 jobs immediately for person who want to work in our industry. So you see what we were to do. So they agreed to give us it. And we went through all the things they tell us to put our proposal together. And because of our organization, we would have had to get a lot of experts to put a proposal like what we want together. It would have cost us hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, where we would have had to pull from all different angles to be able to put this proposal together. We would have do all of that. And when we would have finished the project, they would have tell us they're going to put this material out to bid. After doing all of that, I would have informed my lawyer. My lawyer would have tell us that if we take them to court, we wouldn't be able to bid. So we say we will go ahead and bid. And then if anything had to take place, then we will do it. But let me explain to you. We would agree to go ahead and bid, right? Because we know the value of the material that they had. Because we take our export, all the different export. And let me explain to Trinidad and Tobago. When we go all over the world, in Singapore and all the different countries, they would say we have the knowledge and expert. So we should have they was going to appoint us the person in charge, me, the person in charge of this whole region, of the scrap industry and the recycling industry, because we attend conference with all members from all over the world. There's attend, and we as members, so we know what to do with what will be happening with the material. So what I'm trying to get to, and not try to bore you, is that, listen to me, we will know how much this material will cost in time to come, and last us 3 years. We were able to work this material that you will find out who move it out. This material will be able to help our industry to go to a different level and to move on to bigger things. And because of people who have greed and people who are greedy, this is where we is today. But I will expose it in the correct way, and I'm letting you know We have not one lies to say. All I want to do, and I'm begging on the Prime Minister and the Minister of Energy to listen to us this morning. This is not about blasting nobody. This is not about blasting no government or nobody. This is about our industry. We're trying to protect our industry. This is about helping our industry. And what being take place our industry based on what happened is like you take a gun and put it at my head and shoot me. What take place? So all I am trying to get is that when we hear we had to go and bid, they said 2 members from every organization. Me and my member went down there with other members that we discussed that could go ahead and look with us. So in our whole thing, we probably must have had about 10 members with us going to apply, going to bid for the material. When I went down there the first time, because 2 visits it had, when I went down there the first visit, I said, when I reached there, the amount of local contractors that I see, I thought we was going to build a bridge from Point 14 to Venezuela. I come and tell Trinidad and Tobago that. And let me tell you, when I done say that, it was like I make worse for myself. But it wasn't like that. I had was to say what I see. And let me explain to you all now, because this is one of the major things that I hope that I don't have to go to court, that I will have to put on an affidavit, and it's truth, because we have the record. When I went down the second time, let me explain to you, every single person in Trinidad, if you know about scrap, you know me. You know me. You know when I went down the second time, they put me out, they tell me they can't find my name, so I had to stay outside. And the person who came with me went in, but they leave me outside. And because when I start to make calls, after 2 hours outside in the sun, then they allow me to come in when I make calls. You understand? So Trinidad and Tobago, I want you to understand, it started around that time, that they leave me outside 2 hours in the sun. And then when I make certain call, then they allow me to come in. So I want you to understand, when I reach inside, it has some members who was conducting it for Heritage. All of them, like, they didn't even want to be close to me. They didn't even want to tell me what it is we had to do and what it is, what bus we going in or whatever. They make it look like I is some kind of hateful person. So that's how they put it. But I draw that to tell you, I'm coming back to this last part when I continue. But I just want you to know, and I want the Prime Minister, please, whoever listening, let the Prime Minister get some time and listen today, because the Prime Minister is one of the persons who always talk about the truth and who in corruption and who in this. I am not going to blame your government, because I do not believe that you know about this. I do not believe that the Minister of Energy know about this. I believe there's a few people who was involved in this, and the government don't know about it. So I need to let you know today that please, we still have some more time. Because you see, I'm not going to take this occasion to say how much money this one get, or who just this one get, or who this one get, or who ain't get. I didn't want to take this occasion to do that. But what I could tell them, the mistake that they make is that they don't know that I did own a private investigation company. So when you're doing things, you feel I will know, but I will dig up and find out things, and I will find out who get and who ain't get. But I won't say it, because I still want to meet with the Prime Minister or the Minister of Energy to able to try to solve this problem before I could go to court. Because let me tell you something, if I had to go straight to the Privy Council, I am going. They will not get away with this. And I told them that already. I say, if I had to go to the Privy Council, I'm going. Because all you need to understand that it will have some people will stop the evil that all you're doing. Because this is an evil to poor people. What all you had done, all you take what poor people have and give it to people who already have. And because of that, all you will have to pay is either in the court, and I believe all you shall pay from all your money. All you shall pay from all your money. And I will call all your names in time to come, if it had to reach the court, and I will sue all you too, somehow or the other, because it's all you will do this evilness. Or you take it away from poor people. Or you take this away from poor people. Because we, our organization, the money that we had bid for this material, I'm going to explain something to you, but she will read it up. I want all you to understand Trinidad and Tobago. We had bid $200 for all the material, meaning that all the lots that it have people who win the bid, that they bid $400 Trinidad, $600 Trinidad, $700 Trinidad, up to $1,000. They would have won the bid. And we, who bid was the biggest, we would have bid all the material for $200, which would be about $1,400. And I'm telling you that we have not bid one because of what I will say, which that cannot. And I am saying, based on what Petrotrin say, I am telling you, I don't believe these people in that department. And I'm making it clear today. I will take all the chairman out of this. And I had a whole thing on my head last night, but I say I will take him out. I try all how to bring him in, but I say no, I will not bring in Mr. Commoner in this. I will pull him out. And I pull him out because of one reason. When I had a meeting with him, I see some, you hear what I see some honesty in some things. But, it have a but. It have a but. It have a but, because you're in charge, you're supposed to know. But I pull him out. I give him a pardon. I give him a pardon. But I let in Trinidad and Tobago know. I want the secretary to start to read. Go ahead.
Okay, so through information we received from the Freedom of Information Act, we have the list of winners for the Petrotrin bid. Amco Weld, they received 1 lot. CDS Transport, they received 2 lots. Chabilal Enterprises, 11 lots. Echo Scrap, 4 lots. Trinidad Recycling and Trading Company Limited, 3 lots. And Jams Logistics, 18 lots, for a total of 39 lots.
Now, this is where we reach now. Trinidad and Tobago. Before I go to tell you about that company we win 18 lots, I want to tell you, in our organization, just as any other organization in the world, on Trinidad, we have some Judas in our organization. And if you know, I am telling you, we have some Judas that I hope they understand that God sees everything. And when you gain your wealth by corruption means, by a nasty means, sometimes your children don't even enjoy it when you die. And most of all, you need to understand that. When you gain your wealth by corrupt means, your family does not enjoy it. And when you do things in a nasty way, by making you believe that you're done in the program, And when you do so, you swing around and cut out. It's like when Judas do what he do to Christ. That is what you have to understand. And then I am telling you here today, you have time to change your evil ways before you die, or you could stay so and remain corrupt because you continue. Eat out all, some of you, one of you from somewhere, print somewhere, going up high up. You had eat most of heritage and Petrotrin material, and you continue was to do it. But let me explain to Trinidad one of the most hardest part to understand. What's the name of that last company? I want them to hear it good.
Jams Logistics.
Jams Logistics. You know how long this company registered to do this bid? To go into this bid? 1 month in front, this company registered and was able to get 18 lots, the biggest half of Petrotin material, which is more than 700 or 800 tons of material. That's what they were able to get, and even more. And that company registered 1 month. And I wanted to show you how Petrotrin break their own rules. Read it for them. Petrotrin break their own rules.
According to Petrotrin's supplier and contractor due diligence questionnaire, page 4, section 2 is financial capacity and due diligence. 2.1 asks, what was your turnover in the last 3 years? 2.2, please provide the percentage of your annual turnover that is represented by 3 of your largest customers.
Trinidad and Tobago, 1 month in front, this company register. And in the act, which Petrotrin break and all also too. Let me explain to you. Anytime you're purchasing scrap material, you must have a license. And if you only register a month, I guarantee you, you cannot get a license in a month. No way. So you don't have a license when you purchase that material. When you went up to bid for that material, you didn't have a license. And Petrotrin can't break the rules and say you can't have a license because it's Trinidad and Tobago laws. And then the next part in this, Trinidad and Tobago listen to this main important thing, that is they want to do the corruptness with. They want to tell you that they could give who they want. Well, let me explain something. Even if I bid the most, they're telling me that I could give. That can't happen at all in scrap material. The rule's not so in purchasing material. If you is a state company, you will want to get the most. You will want to get the less. You can't get $1,400 and take $400. That is where you went wrong. I had bid $1,400 and only bid $600 and $700 and win a bid. For me, it is totally wrong, morally wrong, all internationally wrong, all over the world. When we go to purchase material, people want to get the best price. When we go to our buyers, we want to get the best price. It's not like we want to get the less price. It's totally foolish, and it's totally unmoral and madness that we could allow this thing to happen. And Trinidad and Tobago ain't take the road to protest because of what they did to us as a poor organization, as an organization that had the most poor people in it. And we're trying to rehabilitate, and we're trying to help out and work with people that they will stay away from crime. And this is what all you're doing to us. And I want P&M people to know, we're not against no P&M people, This is not about no PNM and no UNC thing. This is about you doing an evilness to our organization, and we have to talk and fight with. Because if we don't fight with, who will help us? We need to show Trinidad and Tobago that this was taking place is a big wrong against our organization. And we cannot allow it to continue like this. Because every single thing they want to take from us. Because they don't think we are nobody to fight for us. But let me tell you something. All wrong. All wrong. I was planned to come here in a different way. You think I wrong and in my head. I look like I'm ready to fight. But I choose to hold it down a little bit. Because I was going and call some names. And I want to show you something. The directors of that company, I want you to tell them who the directors of that company, and I want you to show where that company is. So Trinidad will understand what it is taking place with this whole thing here, with this bid that Petrotrin put out.
The directors of JAMS Logistics is Junior Isaac and Mahadai Rampisoon Isaac. The company's business address is number 8 Lal Bihari Trace, Debi, and their residential address is the same.
And let me explain something to you. We couldn't find one number for them. We couldn't find nothing more than a place where their register address is. We look all over to see what type of equipment they have, what they have to gain them a license. And there's nothing there where this house is. Director should be touching at the house. Well, let's take a look at the house. That is what it is to get a license. That cannot give you a license. Because you're not qualified. Yep. Right. That's the house. That's where they're doing all the big transaction. They was able to win us, who have all the experience, who have all the knowledge, who have all the experience in this industry for years. And that is what the evil set of people did. Give that company, where that look the registration, look where it is. But as I tell you, I didn't come here to tell you who get money. Because they think we can, because we stupid, we stop dealers, we don't understand it. But I had an investigation company. So I will do investigation and find out a lot, which I will hold back for next time. So, what I would like, and I'm asking, please, Mr. Prime Minister, or if you cannot make it, please put the Minister of Energy, please, please. All respect go to the Ministry of Trade, but please, I don't want to go. It's not that I have anything with them. I just don't want to go there. I will be wasting my time. Okay? And I have no disrespect. Minister of Energy or Prime Minister, please. This is important for us because I wouldn't like to take my own organize my taxpayer money to go and take it to get it back because I have a different thing. But if I have to do it, I will. But I beg the Prime Minister and the Minister of Energy, please to hear us. We was to send the letter as we leave here today. We're going to send a letter to you all. And we will send a letter asking you all for a meeting. Please, you know, so much time we ask you all. And this wouldn't happen today because we asked for a meeting already and we did not get it. Because we know, remember when I was here the last time, I tell you it was a company from Penal. Because they don't know how to do investigations. But we just want to confirm. That is why we went to do what we had to do with our lawyer. So I am saying, anyone who have any question online or anyway have any question concerning us here. I want to thank my team. I want to thank the ones that work hard to do investigations, the ones who do work hard to put this. I want to thank our lawyer, Mr. Martin George. I want to thank he and company for doing what they have done to bring this thing here to life for us. I want to thank them. I want to thank everyone who assists us in the last year and months to bring this thing here to where it is today, to expose this evilness that take part in that what they did us as an organization. They take away all that we supposed to have, and they take it from us and give it to those who have. Those who raped Petrotrin already. I could tell you that. I have the information. Anybody could take me to court. I have it. And I'm telling you all that it's because you all get someone to work with to get the material. Or you bust it from us. Or you Judas. Or you bust it. Or you sit down in our meetings. Or you hear what we're going to plan. And all you also, some of them, because some of them is not our members, but they're like a Judas. And God hear all you. And it's because one reason I'm calling all your name. But people going to know who I'm talking about. All you from Prince Song and all you from Sugar on Us. All you dangerous people. I thank you all, and I hope that Prime Minister and the Minister of Energy hear my call. I'm going to, anybody have any questions, and then we will wrap up. I will give, that's a nice question. I will give them approximately 2 weeks. And if I do not get no response in 2 weeks, I will immediately ask my lawyer to start to make preparation to take them to court.
Any other questions?
One of the things that Trinidad need to know, and some people who listen for the first time, when we did our bid, we had bring in some of the best personnel in Trinidad. The best. I think government used them and all too. The best lawyers, the best, every different people that we need was to bring in, we bring in qualified people. And listen to this. You know what we will do? To show that we had strength, our international partners, we are able to show them bank statements from the bank directly to them, that hundreds and hundreds of millions of US and pounds and reals that this company had was to support us. This is not a fake. This is what we had showed to them. And one of the major things that they say that the reason why we didn't win, that you all need to know, is that because they couldn't open up my file. And let me explain to you. We do all we could do. And my experts said there's no way that could have happened. And you know something? They had probably more than 17 or 18 or wherever it is. And you know something? Everybody had to send to the same email. But my documents is the only documents that they said they couldn't open. Because I say that this thing is not a project from Venezuela, from Trinidad to Venezuela. It's scrap material. Scrap. That's all I say. And if you see contractors, and that, they will just say, nothing for me. And you know why nothing for me? Because I didn't agree to give nothing. And they can't tell me that that is a lie. Because people came to me to ask me to pay for certain things. And I refuse to pay. I refuse to pay. That is not lie. They came and all out passion, all kind of people come to me, and I refuse to take the material for money. I refuse to do it. So they can't tell me I lied.
I have a question from someone here who asks, if Petrotrin allowed a company that was recently registered to win the bid, does that mean the process was flawed and has to be redone?
Well, Petrotrin, the ministers and them, I think they will have to answer that question. But all I can tell you is that I will have to continue fighting for our organization. And if anyone in Trinidad feel the organization was unjust, whatever happened, and they feel like they could take them to court, they do it. Rightful people take people to court. But I am saying, I am not the person to rush to do these things. I ask, please let the Prime Minister or the Minister of Energy sit down with us and work it out. Forget heritage. You can't sit down with the same set of people that look deceitful, do things deceitful, and the first time we met them, we could have recognized that some of them have rottenness in them, based on what they say. We could have recognized it as a rotten. So we know that we have to deal with them have to deal with that. I know how I have to deal with my matter.
Okay, so those on Zoom, if you have any questions, please open your mics. Okay.
All right, let me just say one. Yeah. All right, I think we close this, but I just want to go back to the first issue that I have. What I mentioned, I asking the Attorney General, please, to go to Parliament to amend the laws to recognize us as an industry. The reason for that we hear even ministers making claim about the theft. And we say, as an organization, we not taking part in no part when no theft is concerned. Because we know that we tell our members to stay away from purchasing stolen material. But in this country, they have a lot of outsiders, and I don't care to say it, a lot of outsiders who have yards that don't care where they purchase. Because you see, when the thing go bad here, they could fly to the next country and shut up shop. And it's we have to take it here. So I'm going to tell them today, and this is why I say I want to take this as the last and close it. All of y'all, you could be from Trinidad, you could be from outside. If you don't have a license, I will be sending the police by you. From Monday, if you don't organize your license, or if it's not in the court, or if you don't get it, remember I send in the police. I will give the police the information. Because this thing must stop. Because there's majority always who causing the problem. The people who don't have a license is who causing the problem. Purchasing the TSTT wire, purchasing the copper and the iron that's stolen from all over the place. All you buying it. And all you making me look bad. All you making me look bad. And I don't want this industry to crash. Because I'm fighting. And other people fighting too. So you know what happened? Somebody had to stand up. Somebody in Trinidad has to stand up for the right thing. And I'm going to stand up for it. Police going to get all your information. If all you do put things in place, all you better call me and show me that all you're going to do it. Because no, all you from south and all over the place and all up on this side, if all you do not go for all your license this year, all you're in trouble. I send in the police for you. Remember when all see the police come, I send them. Okay? All right. I want to thank Power 102, 95.5, television, all the necessary people who was logged on and listening. I want to thank you. This fight It's a fight start from since last year, and I wouldn't give up. I know it's a real strain on me, but I say to this end is starting, I believe there's a God. And when you believe there's a God, you know that God has helped you, and God has given you strength to fight this fight. God has given you the energy. God has given you the wisdom to deal with this evil set of people that in Trinidad, where they believe everything they had to gain, that they gain it by the means of corrupt means. And I am saying, somebody must make some effort to deal with some of these people. And I have more to come, because it's a forum that we're going to launch in Trinidad. We're going to launch some forum that we're going to deal with communities. We denied a lot of things. And we're coming to assist all you. We're coming in a different kind of forum, a different way, a different organization. Because this thing must stop. People must understand that if we want to change and stop the crime, it must start from all over, not one way. Just only the poor people it must start from. It must start from the people who is business people. We're encouraging it too. It must stop from there too. It mustn't just stop from people in Labantil and Beatom and Sealot and Enterprise. It must start from all over. And if the government want to deal with it, they have to deal with it all over. And that's why this is one of the claims that they have to deal with. Because if you want to deal with crime, you must deal with crime from the south, from the top. Because the head, if you destroy the head, all to the bottom going and die. And you need to deal with everything. Don't deal with one way. Run in Enterprise, run in Labantil, run in whatever small, poor communities. You need to deal with them who want corrupt means. Because none of them are getting locked up. This going and say, and you want to kill this dead. But we going to expose all right in court if you all do not deal with it. Everything going to expose in court. All who get money going to expose in court. I thank you.
Thank you all for being with us today. Stay connected with TTCEDA by visiting our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube pages. I'm Willetta Wilson. Goodbye and be safe.